Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give a call Yahweh Shemo Ashek Yoshua, alright? And hearty Shalom to all the brothers and Akwav that's pushing this word, alright, in sincerity and truth, right? And is doing this work for the Most High, right? And His Son Yahushua, right? So, this video is going to be breaking down Revelation chapter 10, right? So, breaking down Revelation 10 right now. Let's start with what was Revelation? What is Revelation, right? Let's go to the first chapter, right? Because many don't know, Revelation is a letter that was written by who? John, right? How do you know that? Revelation 1 and 4. John to the 7 churches which are in Asia, right? Now, when you see this word Asia, it's not talking about Japan. It's not talking about China. It's not talking about North Korea, South Korea. It's not talking about Thailand, all right? It's talking about Asia Minor, all right, which would be modern day Turkey, all right? So this word Asia means modern day Turkey, all right? So it says, John to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be upon you, and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, right? Let's get to verse 11. So, now that we know that John is writing a letter to Asia, which would be modern day Turkey, what people in modern day Turkey, right? Let's see, Revelation 1 and 11, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia. Alright, so now we know that John is writing to 7 churches. What are the churches? Unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. Alright, so those are the 7 churches in which John is writing this letter to, right? So this letter is not for everybody, alright? It's for these 7 churches, alright, which are in Asia, alright? And also the seven churches are symbolic to the Israelites as a whole, right? Now, when we're reading Revelation, because just like Genesis, alright, Revelation is a really spiritual book, alright? You gotta have spiritual discernment in order to understand and comprehend some of the things that are in the book, in this letter, or in this book, right? Just like how it says in Proverbs, right? 4 and 7. It's like Proverbs 4 and 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. And principal means primary thing, alright? The principal, like, let's say the principal at a school, right? The principal, he or she is the one in charge, right? He's the primary, right? Everybody goes to him in school for help or for justification, right? Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. So we're commanded to get wisdom, right? And with all that getting, get understanding. So when you're reading, right, you should be able to spiritually discern and get wisdom of what you're reading and get that understanding of what you're reading, alright? Now let's go back to Revelation 10. Alright? So this is Revelation chapter 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud. Now, is this talking about actual cloud? Alright? It's not talking about actual cloud. Alright? It's not talking about a huge giant cloud, right, that we see in the skies every day. Alright? It's not talking about actual cloud. It's talking about a chariot of the Most High. A UFO, if you will. Right? People, a lot of people don't believe in UFOs, but they're documented in the scriptures. right? As a whirlwind or a cloud, right? How do you know that? Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms, chapter 104, verse 3. All right. Psalm chapter 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Now, who is this? This is Yahushua, right? Through the Most High, he's able to do all these things, all right? So he makes the clouds his chariot. So when it says cloud, it's talking about chariot, all right? The angel is not actually clothed in a cloud. He's in a chariot, all right? He's in the chariot of the Most High. All right. Now let's go to let's get some further proof, because UFOs and chariots are all documented throughout the scriptures. All right. These is like the vehicles of the angels, right? If you will. Acts 1:9. And when he had spoken these things, the he is Yahushua, right? And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Alright? So this cloud is a chariot. You ever watch in movies where the UFO just beams someone up, right, from the ground into the chariot, or into the UFO? That's what happened in Acts chapter 1. That's what happened to Yahushua. Alright? Verse 10. And while they looked steady fast toward heaven as he looked up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men in Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Alright? So, what does that mean? When he comes back and redeems Israel and kills off the wicked, alright, he's going to come in like manner. He's going to come in the chariot. He's going to come in a UFO. Alright. Alright, so let's get Acts 1:11. Revelation, alright, 1:7. Get some further proof, alright, that he's coming in a UFO, in a chariot. Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, alright. Who is the he? Yahushua. He cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Alright. So everyone is going to see Yahushua coming in the clouds of heaven. Alright. Which are the chariots of the Most High, which are UFOs. Alright. He's going to come with clouds, man. Alright. Him and the angels, the innumerable amount of angels, are going to come in the chariots of the Most High, alright, and to bring judgment on the earth, alright, and to bring forth the elect. Let's go to Matthew chapter 26, because even Yahushua said it to Pilate, alright, when he got delivered up, alright. So this is Matthew chapter 26, verse 63. And Yahushua held his peace, and the high priest answered. Oh, he didn't say it to Pilate. He said it to the high priest, right? But Yahushua held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God, that thou tell us whether thou be the Mahashiach, the Son of the Most High. And we know that Yahushua is Mahashiach, the Son of God, right? But let's see what Yahushua said. Yahushua said unto him, Thou hast said, Nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Right? Now that's that word cloud, and it's talking about the chariots again. Alright, the chariots and the UFOs of heaven. Alright. So and the high priest obviously died. Alright. But this is talking about regeneration. Right? That high priest is going to get that judgment. Right? He didn't get it then, he's going to get it now. Alright, and we don't know who the high priest is back on this earth. Alright, but he's going to get that judgment when Yahushua comes back. Alright. Alright. He's going to get that judgment. Alright. So is everyone else that have been doing wicked deeds. Alright. Let's go to Revelation chapter 19, right, verse 13. To prove that Yahushua is coming with judgment. Revelation 19:13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. This is Yahushua. And the armies which were in heaven, followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Alright, so these are the chariots again. Alright. Alright, these are the chariots again. Alright, and to prove that he's coming to judge, verse 11, and I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Alright, so Yahushua is coming to make war with the nations, man, and to judge. Alright. And let's see how big the army of the Most High is, right? Let's go to Job chapter 25, verse 3. Is there any number of his armies, and upon whom doth not his light arise? So there's no number of his armies. Alright, this is a rhetorical question. It's not a number of his armies. Alright. So you can't count the Most High's army. Alright. Yahushua's army. You can't count it. Alright. Let's go to Psalms chapter 68. Verse 17. Right. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Alright, so the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. It's basically talking about an innumerable amount. I mean, you can't count it, right? Just like how we read in Job, you can't count it, alright? The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. So Yahushua is coming back with thousands and thousands of angels, man. Alright. Let's go to Revelation 14:14, right? Just a further proof, alright? Revelation chapter 14, 14. And I looked and behold a white cloud. Alright, there's a cloud again. And upon the cloud one like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. Alright? So the Son of Man, which is Yahushua, he had a golden crown and he had a sharp sickle, but he was standing on a cloud, alright, which is the chariot, which is a UFO, the Most High. Alright. It's not an actual cloud. Alright, you gotta have spiritual discernment. Alright. Use your wisdom. Alright. Revelation 10:1. Don't be carnal. Alright. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head. Alright. And his face was as it were the sun. So his face was shining bright. Alright, that's what it means. Alright. That's from his wisdom. Alright. And his feet as pillars of fire. It's not talking about his actual feet. It's talking about because when he was in the UFO, the fumes, right, that you land in, that fire, right, from those fumes at the bottom of the chariot, right, because he was landing. It's going to tell you that in the second verse. Verse 2. And he had in his hand a little book open. What's that little book? It's the scriptures. And he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot on the earth. Alright? So that means he landed, right? And cried with a loud voice, and when a lion, as when a lion roareth. Alright? Just meaning that it was loud. Because John the Revelator, he was during the time of what? He wrote the book of Revelation in 95 AD. Alright? The year 95 AD. And he had to use things that the things that he was surrounded by in order to describe what was going on, right? He didn't know what a UFO was, right? And in order to describe the sounds and the things that he was seeing, he had to use the things that he saw in his everyday life, right? So he said, and cried with a loud voice as when a lion roareth, right? Meaning that it was just really loud, right? And he had cried, and when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. Alright? So, we don't know what the 7 thunders are. Alright? We don't know what the 7 thunders are. Okay? No one knows what the 7 thunders are except for John the Revelator. Alright? You can't know everything. Alright? Only John knows what it is. Alright, let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 17. Then I beheld all the work of the Most High, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. Because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Yea, further, though a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it. Alright, so you can, labor and work, read, try to go into, dabble into all these different books, alright, to try to find out what the 7 thunders are, but you're not going to find anything. Because no one knows what the 7 thunders are, alright? We're in the Celestial Bible. We don't understand everything in this book. Alright? Can't get everything. Alright? Can't get everything. Alright, let's go to Sirach. Right? Sirach chapter 3, verse 21. Sirach chapter 3, verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. This is above your strength, man. Try to seek out what the 7 thunders are. The Lord said, seek not the things that are too hard for thee. This is too hard for you. Alright? And what is commanded thee, what is commanded you to keep these laws, statutes, commandments, to teach your people that they got to keep the laws, statutes, commandments, and believe in Yahweh Shah, right? But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee, right, to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Because this is a secret, right, between the Most High, the angels, Yahweh Shah, and John, alright? John was commanded to seal those things, alright? So we can't get everything. Alright, don't try to get everything. You don't have to be too deep. You can just stay on the milk. Alright? And this is not even meat. Because no man can get it. Alright? So seek not out the things that are too hard for thee. Alright? That's the point. This is above our strength. Alright? Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Alright? 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 20. Then answered me Then answered he me and said, Thou hast given a right judgment, but why judgest thou not thyself also? For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing, but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. Alright? So, what this is saying is that you will only know the things that the Most High wants you to know. Right? So don't try to seek out the seven thunders. Now you're gonna go off, right? You're gonna bug out because you're trying to seek things that are too hard for thee, and the Lord just said, don't do that. All right? You'll get it in the kingdom. All right? It'll be revealed unto men in the kingdom. All right? All right. So I'm just looking at my notes. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Chapter 9, verse 13. For what man is he that can know the counsel of God, or who can think what the will of the Lord is? Now this is the will of the Lord, right? The seven thunders, that's the will of the Lord. So how are you supposed to know the counsel of the Most High? How can you know what the will of the Lord is, right? Nobody knows what the will of the Lord is. Didn't the Lord say in Isaiah, my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways, right? The Most High is on a totally different level, right? Even the earth can't even wouldn't even be able to handle the Most High, right? His presence, right? Is just too strong, right? You trying to? Oh, actually, let me read on. Verse 14, for the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain, right? Because we'll think, right, throughout all the day, we'll be like, well, should I wear these shoes today? Should I wear my Nikes or should I wear my Adidas today? I don't know. I'll just wear my Levi's, right? You trying to you can't even decide what to eat, right? You might in the morning, you might not know what to eat in the morning, and you're trying to seek out what the seven thunders are, right? Something that's too hard for you, and you don't even you don't even know what to eat in the morning, or something like that. Something as easy as that, all right? And our devices are but uncertain, right? So that's what it's trying to say, right? Just, you get the point, Israel. Let's go back to Revelation. Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 10 and verse 4. And when the seven thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the seven thunders uttered, and write them not. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth, lifted up his hand to heaven. Alright, he was swearing an oath, because the angels can't lie. Alright, they're perfect. And swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are therein, and the earth and the things that are therein, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. Meaning that Satan is about to expire. Satan's time rulership is about to expire on the earth. Alright? And who is this that he's swearing by? It's the Most High. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Alright? He's the one that created everything. Alright? Of course, using his son and his angels. Alright? But he created everything. Alright, if you got ears to hear. Alright, but when it says that there should be time no longer, it's talking about Satan's rulership on this earth. All right, he's using Esau, which is the wicked according to the Bible, all right, to control this earth right now. Right? Because if we go to Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Right? So this means that, Esau's days are determined, and the number of his months are with him. Right? So, day by day, we're getting closer and closer to his destruction. Right? And closer to the kingdom of the Most High. Alright? But first, the destruction got to come upon him. And then the kingdom of the Most High can come. Alright? Esau's days are numbered. And he knows that. Alright? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To every time, for everything, to everything there is a season, and to a time to every purpose under the heaven. Right? So there's a time for every purpose under heaven. Right? There's a time for Israel to rise, and there's a time for Esau to fall, and that time is coming. Right? Alright. So that was just 2 precepts on that. Let's go back to Revelation 10. Revelation 10 and 7. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, now 7 in the scriptures means completion. We don't know if it's actually 7. It could be a big amount. It could be 2. It could be 3. It could be 14. We don't know. Right? It actually could be 7. But we know that 7 is a number of completion in the scriptures. Right? But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of the Most High shall be finished, as he hath declared to his servants the prophets. Now, who are the servants and the prophets? They are Israelites. Go read Isaiah 44 and 1, right? But the mystery of the Most High should be finished, and he hath declared to his servants the prophets, right? Verse 8, and the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book. It says, Go and take the little book, which is open in the hand of the angel, which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. So the angel said to John, Go get the little book, right, which is open. Now this little book is the scriptures. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Now people might read this and be like, Whoa, you mean to tell me John is about to eat a book? It's not talking about an actual book. Alright? This book is symbolic. Alright? The book is the scriptures, but when it says, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in the mouth sweet as honey, it's talking about this it's talking spiritually. Spiritually eat it up. Meaning read it, consume it, and understand it. Right? Because if you go to, right, so let's go, your belly's your mind. Right? Let's go to Job 32 and 17. Your belly's your mind. Alright. Job chapter 32 verse 17. I said, I will answer also my part. Right? It's lucky. Job chapter 32 verse 17. I said, I will answer also my part. I also will show mine opinion. For I am full of matter, the spirit within me constraineth me. Behold, my belly is as wine which hath no vent. It is ready to burst like new bottles. So, Job wants to speak, right? but he wants to show his opinion. He wants to show forth what he thinks, but something's not allowing him to. All right. So you ever have a conversation, you want to say something really bad, but for some reason you can't, because maybe someone else is talking, but you really want to say something. That's the situation that Job is in right now. Right. But he said, "For I am full of matter, the spirit within me constraineth me. Behold my belly." Right. So you don't speak words from your belly. Right. You come up with words and what you think in your mind. So he's comparing his mind to his belly. Right. So he's right. So he's calling his mind his belly. Behold, my belly is as wine which hath no vent, it is ready to burst like new bottles. I will speak that it may be refreshed. I will open my lips and answer. Right. So your belly's your mind. All right. Let's go to Job chapter 34, verse 3. Right. For the ear trieth words as the mouth tasteth meat. All right. So when you taste meat, it may be good, it may be bad. You might want to add some salt or some barbecue sauce, right? Whatever. Season it, right? Whatever. So as the mouth tastes meat, you'll know good meat when you eat it, right? Or you might know bad meat when you eat it. The mouth tastes meat, right? It's basically like discerns the good from the bad of the meats, right? But what? For the ear trieth words, as the mouth tastes meat. So just like how the mouth tastes meat, see if it's good or if it's bad, the ear trieth the words, see if it's good or it's bad. Pleasant to the ear, or if it's bad to the ear. It sounds bad to the ear, right? So your belly's your mind, and with that we know that, right? It's not actually talking about eating the actual book, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth, and eat what that I give thee. And when I looked, behold, an hand was set unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein." Right? And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Alright. Now, did Ezekiel actually eat this roll? Nah. He just read it, he consumed it, he understood it. Alright. So your belly's your mind. He was processing it, alright, in his mind. Alright, and then he started to mourn and woe. Right, because he was reading the Lamentations. Alright. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1 and 8. Alright. Ecclesiastes 1 and 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So the more you know, the more sorrow you're going to get, because you understand that the world is full of vanity and sin and wickedness. You know that destruction is coming on this earth. You understand that your own family members will come against you. You understand that Jacob's trouble gotta happen. You understand that you're in captivity. All right. You understand that you gotta be that the curse is on you. All right. So for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. So these men, John, Ezekiel, they increased their knowledge, and therefore they increased their sorrow. That's why it was bitter to John, because he increased his sorrow, right? Let's go back to Revelation, right? 10. So it says, verse 10, "And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth as sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter." Right? So what is this talking about? when you first come in this truth, that's the honey. All right, it was sweet. That's honey. All right, when you first come in this truth, you know that you're Israelite, right? All right, you God's chosen people. You're above all nations, right? You got laws and commandments, right? Esau's going to slavery, right? The kingdom is for you, right? Salvation's for you. All these good stuff, right? Christ is a black man. God is a black man, right? All this stuff, man, right? It's sweet, right? It's sweet as honey. But as you start to progress in this truth, right? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, right? You start getting more wisdom. You start learning the scriptures more. You understand that the scriptures and the truth is not all sweet, right? You understand that it's also bitter. You understand the lamentations. You understand that we're under the curses. You understand that your family members might be leaving you. People are going to hate you, right? Pursuant to Mark 13:13, right? You understand that you're going to be persecuted for the word's sake, right? That's all bitter stuff, right? So when John said that, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, it's talking about the first fruit, the first works of the truth. You're zealous for this truth at first. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter, right? Because when you eat something, it goes to your mouth first, then through your belly, and then out, down to your belly, right? So, talking about that duration period of time of when you are first in this truth and when you start to progress in this truth, right? Verse 11, Slaki. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples, and nations, and tongues, and kings. Now this is talking about Revelation, because when John wrote this, it was 95 AD, and John was in his 90s. All right, this is 5 years before he died. All right, this is 5 years before he died. He died in 100 AD. All right. So what does that mean? And there's no account of John leaving the Isle of Patmos, because John wrote this on the Isle of Patmos. He was sent there for the word of God and for the testimony of Yahushua. He was exiled there, right, in jail, right? But there's no account of him leaving and going and prophesying again. Right? This is talking about in regeneration. He's back on the earth, doing what he's been doing, right? Proving that regeneration is in the scriptures, right? And it's real. But with that, I'll let you give a call.